The Apple TV updated, and today we're going to do Apple TV apps.
Yes, but let's talk about some of the updates too. Do you want to?
Yeah, we don't give enough love, I think, to the Apple TV, and it's a great. I have a couple of Apple TVs in my den, in my office. I have that nice 4K UHD TV. I don't use the Apple TV as much there, because it is only 1080p. And all my other devices now, my Roku, my TiVo, my Shield, my Xbox, all do 4K now. And so Apple really, and I wonder, we've got an announcement coming up. Maybe on Thursday they'll make an announcement. But when it came out, we said, why aren't they 4K? And I think it was reasonable to say at the time, well, there aren't very many 4K sets out there. But almost all the new TVs are 4K. So I think we need a 4K. On the other hand, in my living room, where it's still 1080p plasma, love the Apple TV. I'll tell you this, it's the best Netflix experience. So if you don't, now Netflix does have 4K, so if you're not using a 4K TV, that's not the case. But on a regular 1080p HD TV, the reason is Apple caches, and we've mentioned this before, the Netflix data. So if you're having trouble with Netflix on a Roku or on your TiVo or on your smart TV, try it on Apple. It's almost always better to watch Netflix on Apple. So unless I'm watching 4K, that's where I watch it. What do you use your Apple TV for?
I use it for Netflix, HBO Go. We play games on it, and I have a couple other apps that I've been trying out.
I have been watching Westworld on the Apple TV, yes. I have to admit, yeah.
And YouTube. I mean, my kids watch, 4, 5, 7 hours of YouTube a day, I think, on the Apple TV.
By the way, I'll give you another tip. You want a tip?
Yeah.
So we often ask the question, when I buy or rent a movie, which platform? If you're like me, and I imagine many households have at least several places they could buy a movie. You could buy it from iTunes, from Google, Amazon, Vudu, Disney. I mean, there's lots of these, right? Redbox, where you can rent or buy movie or TV shows. And now if you have an Apple TV, it's the only one that can handle iTunes. That means if you buy something in iTunes, you can only watch it on your Apple TV. Similarly, Apple TV doesn't have Amazon or Google on here, right? But it does have YouTube. So Renee, and I credit Renee Ritchie, I think, for this on MacBreak Weekly. He says, I buy most of my stuff, rent most of my stuff on Google, because if you have a YouTube app on Apple TV or anything else, you could always watch rented and bought movies on YouTube. I did not know that.
Oh.
So YouTube gives you access to movies you purchased in the Google Play Store. So, and for a while, Apple TV didn't have YouTube, but you could see subscriptions. No, actually, not. Maybe my YouTube would be where it would be, but you have to buy movies. Mm. You see, you have to sign in to your YouTube to do that. Now, so I think that's a nice tip.
I think that is a good, and as long as we're talking about sign-in, we've been promised this universal sign-in, but that's still not here. We still have to sign in to a lot of our different accounts like this.
And I blame YouTube and HBO and Showtime for that. They're the ones telling Apple, no, we want to make sure, for instance, Showtime and HBO want to say, well, I want to make sure you have a cable subscription, and furthermore, that your cable company allows us to stream over the top, because not all cable companies do. This is the best way, though, in my opinion, to do it, which is use your computer to log on to youtube.com/activate. When you get there on your computer or browser or iPad, you can, and presumably something with a nicer keyboard, you can type in this code and the Apple TV will recognize it. I prefer that to what Netflix does, which actually requires you to enter your Netflix login and password on the Apple TV remote. It's a lot easier now that I can say it, but still, I prefer this.
tvOS, the updated tvOS is supposed to let you be able to use Siri to search within YouTube. So let's try that.
Nice.
iOS today.
Boy, that would be great. I think Apple's website should be able to help you with that, says Siri, asking for it. Why don't you go to the top?
Well, maybe if we go iOS today.
That'll work. There you go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
There we go.
There you go. And there's Andy.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's when he hosted. Yeah, so you can search you used to not be able to search within YouTube for that.
Now, can you exit out of YouTube to the top level? Does Siri, the holy grail is being at the top level of the Apple TV and being able to search and finding all the different places you can find something.
I don't know if YouTube does that. Well, let's try.
It would really be, I think, Apple. What's going on now?
No,
Oh, you broke it.
I broke it. There we go.
Hello, Apple TV.
Okay, so you want me to try to search for iOS today?
Oh, you moved it into a folder
here?
by accident.
Oh.
Yeah.
iOS today.
Yeah. See, so you have to open the YouTube app and then search within the YouTube app. You couldn't do that before?
You could not search you couldn't use Siri to search within YouTube.
That's probably
before.
a Google thing. Google has to implement that in the app.
Also, dark mode. Would you like to go into dark mode?
Yeah,
That's
let me
a
see
new
that.
thing.
I haven't seen it. That's
Here's
new.
light mode, dark mode.
I prefer this, especially
prefer the dark
if you're
mode.
watching a big screen TV in a darkened room. This is much nicer, isn't it?
It is
Doesn't
much
blind you.
nicer. There's a new photo memories. This is what I also use. This I look at photos in my.
And you also use Snapchat way too much.
I do use Snapchat. Let's see.
And your kids get your phone
Yes.
frequently.
Well, this is the iCloud, so it's all of our photos.
Oh,
but
okay. All right.
I think let's go to the memories feature if we can get up there through my daughter's selfies.
No, I think you're going back in time. Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
so
All right.
the memories feature is new here.
Oh, that's neat.
So yeah, so we can look at all.
Last week, Petaluma on February 20th.
Last week.
Our trip to Cancun.
Yes.
All of that.
So yeah, that's new, and that's great for.
This is nice.
Yeah, there we were. This is all the pictures I've taken in Petaluma. Show all.
This, to me, is Apple trying to keep parity with Google Photos, which, of course, does a lot of this as well, and has for a while automatically made photo albums like that. I'm glad Apple's doing that, though.
Yeah, so that's new. I mean, because that's great for the living room.
This is, by the way, that's machine intelligence. That's applying information from, say, the location tags to figure out, oh, here's a photo album from your day in Petaluma. It's looking at the metadata within the image and doing that. And the big difference between what Google's doing, what Apple's doing, Google, of course, does it on Google's servers. Your photos have to be uploaded to Google's servers. Apple says they're doing it on the phone, on the camera, that they're not doing it on their servers. Now, I have to admit, that sure looks like they were doing it on the server. Because you hadn't asked the Apple TV for that before. Maybe the Apple TV is doing the work.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That
was the big thing, right? Apple said, well, we're going to do it all in phone because we don't want to compromise your privacy. I think they're doing it server side just like Google does. They have to be.
You can also find movies by topic. Do you want to do that?
Yes.
What topic?
Gangster.
Find gangster movies.
We have not planned this ahead of time.
No. Ooh.
Good job.
All the
And in the
best.
past, it's always had the word gangster in the title, but now we're getting some stuff.
Road to Perdition.
Yeah.
Gangster
That's
movie.
actually gangster
Layer
movies.
Cake.
Yeah, this is good.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. There's the king, Godfather, the Queen,
Yeah.
Scarface, the Little Prince.
Let's just watch Scarface instead of
I love Scarface.
finishing this.
That was the old Scarface, wasn't it? Yeah, this is the
yeah.
original Howard Hawks Scarface with Paul Muni
1932.
and John C. Dvorak's in that. So that's a great movie. I love that movie. He plays Little Johnny in the movie.
So I've been using this little remote, this little
The
thing.
Apple remote.
But
Well,
you know,
what would you use?
You don't have to. You can use your phone. Do you want to show
Frankly,
that off?
I lose the remote. In fact, what I really do is I put that terrible Apple TV remote in a drawer because inevitably I'll be watching something and the cat will step on the remote or I'll sit on the remote and the movie goes to the end and I don't want to say spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So I always put that in a drawer and then I forget that I put it in the drawer. So now this is a much better way to do it. It's an app. It was fairly easy for me to pair it. As soon as I launched it, it looked on the network. It said, "Oh, I see another Apple TV." I've paired it to mine at home, of course. I see another Apple TV, and then type in the 4 digits that you would see on the Apple TV. That's to pair it. Now I have the same kinds of buttons, but the cat's much less likely to step on it. So if I press the menu button, it actually is just like I'm hitting the menu on the Apple TV. Going back, I have. Yeah. Shall I watch? I'll scroll through it. See, it's just like, and then I can go up. I can. Is that your husband?
It is. Yeah.
What is he up to?
I don't.
He's up to something. He's up to no good. That's for sure.
Worst pictures that are up there.
Yeah.
I wonder if you
So
can change
this
them.
is all from the phone, which is fabulous. And if I tap it, I select it. Scroll down. Let's watch Ghostbusters. What do you say?
Yes.
Or I haven't seen Alice in Wonderland yet, so I can tap that. You know what I always do, and I love the Apple TV for this. I look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, which they always show, in this case 30%. And that's when I say, I might skip this movie. But you can also tap the preview and watch the preview. So I'll do that real quickly. And now I'm watching the preview. And all of that I did with the phone. If I hit menu, it goes back again and back and back.
You can also see the Common Sense Media score. Have you ever looked at that?
Common Sense Media?
Common Sense Media.
That's because you have children.
Right.
I don't care.
Too.
I do?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there's a 13-year-old in the house.
Yeah, so you can
let's see if I can do this.
That Scarface, original Scarface is appropriate for 13.
Watch romance movies. Look, it did it. And there, Independence Day, one of the most romantic. Oh, no, there they are. Okay, good. Late Bloomer, Accidentally Engaged, The Lobster, The Choice. I haven't seen any of these movies.